Welcome back to the MIRE pregame show as we get set for boys soccer this afternoon against Hightstown, and we're proud to have the head coach of your Montgomery Cougars, Ricky Steeb. Coach, what's going on, man?
How you doing, Glock? Really appreciate you having me on the Mire.
I am doing real well, and thank you. It's our privilege to be on with you. This is the Central West B Group 4 quarterfinals, and that's a mouthful, so let's talk about that first. Central West B is a new thing that the NJSIAA created this year to address, COVID situations. And correct me if I have any of this wrong either. It used to just be Central Jersey Group 4, and we would play under that whole huge umbrella. And now they divided that up into East and West, and then even maybe some subgroups from there. Do I have that all kind of spot on?
Yeah, that's spot on. They decided to focus on location. So for our group, it's Somerset, Hunterdon, and Mercer County.
Okay, so geographically that makes sense. We obviously want to try to keep people that are close together close and avoid those long trips. So just very generally, how did your team come through all of this? In a season where things are certainly far from normal, the only thing that was certain is uncertainty. I think we all kind of have been operating under that educationally over the last couple of months. Coming from preseason to now as we got close to Thanksgiving, where do you think you guys are, and how did you come through this?
It's been a challenge from day one. Our normal routine that we do over the summer, with camp, with captains practices, with summer league, all that stuff that the boys do, we weren't able to do. So going into the season, we had a delayed start. So preseason was pushed back. I thought my coaching staff did a great job evaluating the boys in a timely fashion. One other thing that was a pretty big challenge was we didn't have a scrimmage going into the season. Usually we have 3 or 4 scrimmages that are built in, and it's just a great opportunity to kind of move guys around, really, evaluate the players. We just went into the season without a scrimmage, and, it took a few games to move some guys around and really get a good feel of where we were at. But the boys have been working extremely hard, and since day one, I think just being able to play the game of soccer meant the world to these guys. There's schools that are shut down. Bridgewater, who's in our section, who's in our conference, they only played 5 regular season games, and that's it's pretty devastating. We were very lucky to play a full schedule and not have any games, get canceled because of COVID. So, right now we're very excited about the state tournament.
Yeah, it's something we were talking about the other night on the football broadcast that, basically, I feel like as we walk around school, there is 100% compliance happening, amongst our kids. So the fact that we haven't had any student-to-student transmission is it's not really shocking to me. The outside world, I think, thinks that, it's probably a free-for-all in here, and it is very much not that way. So glad to hear that you guys are having that same experience. Right. This is the 4-5 game. So typically just, by the nature of that matchup, you'd think, okay, that's going to be a pretty close contest. And obviously in a shortened season like this, at a time when you might not otherwise have as much time as you would want to gel in terms of those number of contests that you might play. I always look in times like that at who did you play? And for you guys, the competition, I don't know that it gets much stiffer than the folks that we have around here. Pingree and Gill, number 2 and number 1 and I think it's the NJ.com top 20. As you guys have navigated through those waters in playing teams of that caliber, how much do you think that affects how well you're going to be able to play now that it's tournament time?
Well, the Skyland Conference is definitely one of the top conferences in the state. Like you said, Gill being number 1, Pingree being number 2, Hunter and Central, I think the last time I checked, they were either 6 or 8. Every game is a battle. And when you're playing the best of the best, you can't help but be prepared, going into the state tournament. Hightstown also plays in a very tough conference. They're playing the CVC. They're playing Notre Dame, Princeton, Hopewell, Allentown, all really quality opponents. But just getting through the season, playing really good competition, guys playing different positions. I think we're ready.
Knowing a little bit about you guys and the style of play that you employ, to me, a non-soccer professional, and that is certainly what I am. There will be no elegance really to probably what the fans are going to get on the broadcast today, but I would call it a bit more of a tactical approach. Balls are probably on your feet a little bit more. Passes are a little bit shorter. Time of possession seems to be, to me, a little more crucial for you guys than more of a kick and chase type philosophy. Talk a little bit about your team, your style, and what you guys are hoping to accomplish today against Hightstown.
Right. So we play a 4-3-3. And they typically play the same. So, it's going to be interesting to see our styles playing the same formation, and seeing how they're going to come out. If they're going to play it straight up, or they're going to change their formation and go to a 4-5-1, play a little more defensive. I don't know. We talked about it with the team, and I think we're ready no matter what they do. If they're going to come out in a 4-3-3 or a 4-5-1. Our style of play, we like to possess the ball. We like to control the game. We like to dictate the game. And I think that's going to be a real big key in this matchup. Hightstown, they're physical. They like to get forward quickly. And if we can control the game, slow the game down, let them do some chasing, and then counter them when we can, I think that's going to be some of the big keys in trying to get this win.
One of the things that, a lot of teams, especially at the high school level, don't do a ton that you guys seem to be real comfortable about, and this is going to be a long-winded question for me to get you to talk about one of your best young players. You guys have no problem in the back, utilizing your goaltender and feeling comfortable with the ball on his feet. Talk a little bit about Ben Oliu. And just how talented he is as a sophomore goalkeeper, and how he factors into how you guys are going to try to, counterattack and redirect.
Yeah, Mark Oliu has had a fantastic season. He's a young keeper, only a sophomore. NJ.com, he made, top sophomores in the state of New Jersey. He's a very talented kid, knows the game very well. Plays the position the right way, and our ability to be able to play the ball back to him, for him to collect the ball comfortably and distribute to, our backs or our mids, or sending a long ball down the field. He's very good at that. At times it's almost having like another back there where he can come off his line, he can cut things out. And, he's just done a really fantastic job for us. He's made some huge saves, kept us in games. So, I can't say enough about him.
And I apologize for mixing my two questions together. I said Ben Oliu, and I'm thinking Ben Choi as I'm saying Mark Oliu, but that's a crappy segue into getting you to talk about one of your captains.
Right.
Talk about Ben a little bit. Ben Choi, committed to Clarkson to play soccer next year. Certainly, from what I know of him, a remarkably hardworking kid. Is that hardworking mentality something that translates into the soccer field as you've seen it?
Absolutely. Ben Choi has been a 4-year varsity player. He's definitely one of the most hardworking players I ever coached. It doesn't matter if it's practice and he's doing drills, it's 100% all the time. I mean, he leads by example. Everybody can see how hard he works, how much he cares about the team, how much he cares about playing the game. And, he's just an awesome role model to the younger guys. And he's committed to Clarkson. He's going to play at the next level. Very lucky to have had him in the program for the last 4 years.
So as we kind of progress our way forward, just visually from the back to the front, you have a very talented front line. Marlon Montoya, Jason Edelstein, Ian Dollard really kind of make up a very potent offense for you guys, with Edelstein being your team's leading scorer, and you guys really being able to attack in multiple ways. Talk about your skill guys as you move forward. As we wade through the Montgomery bell there, apologies to all of our listeners out there. Talk a little bit about your front line and just the potential that they have to be as explosive as they are.
I tell you what, they're a very exciting group to be able to coach. They're extremely dangerous. They have a lot of pace. They like to take on defenders, get behind the back four, and obviously with their stats, they find the back of the net. And it's like, if you're going to try to defend them, how are you going to do it? Are you going to man mark them? Are you going to put your best player on Jason? Are you going to put your best player on Dollard? And they're very unselfish too. I mean, Jason and Dollard have scored a bunch of goals, but they have a lot of assists too. So I think it says a lot about them that, they can put the ball in the back of the net, but at the same time, they're not that selfish, and they get their teammates involved.
So if I said to you, Montgomery beats Hightstown if, your answer is what?
Montgomery beats Hightstown if, we could put together a full 80-minute game. If we can control the game, we can possess the ball, get in the final third, and finish our opportunities, we win the game. Well,
Coach, we really look forward to bringing this to all the MIRE faithful out there, and to have an opportunity to get a chance to see you guys, which we don't get to do often. So thank you for your time with me today, and wish you certainly the best of luck as you guys kick off in just a few minutes.
I appreciate that. And just in closing, I would just like to thank my entire coaching staff. Coach Figs coaches the freshman team, Coach Muller, the JV team. I have two great assistants in Coach Rizzoli and Coach Paul. Our middle school team had a phenomenal season this year, lost in the final in their tournament. So, just wanted to say thank you and acknowledge the middle school team as well.
You are a very gracious individual, and as a man and as a head coach, so I would expect nothing less. Coach, thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Take it easy.
We will be back with the rest of the MIRE pregame show as we get set for kickoff, 3 p.m. against Hightstown on the MIRE. It is the Central West B Group 4 quarterfinals on tap, coming up right after this. Stay with us. You're caught in the MIRE. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience.
to Montgomery High School. Keith Glock, Yannick Smith, and Matt Pogue live from Cougar Stadium as we get set here for the Group 4 quarterfinals in Montgomery. Yannick, I want to talk about a young man. First, I want to talk Ben Choi as we see him, here in front of us. Talk about Ben a little bit and kind of what you had seen from him over the last couple of years as an assistant coach.
Yeah, I think Ben's the definition of what you want in a Montgomery, Cougar. He just works hard. He gets better every single day. He's dedicated to the program. He cares so much about it. He's somebody that all off season is trying to get other guys to be doing extra training and getting out with him and doing all this extra work. And he's completely bought in, and he's gotten the benefits of all of his hard work because he's been a starter since he's been about a sophomore. So it's really great to see him turn into this role as a leader and be a captain this year.
And as we get our first look at Jason Edelstein, the team's leading scorer, committed to play at Muhlenberg next year. Certainly one of the team's most potent offensive threats.
Yeah, Jason's just, we'll see a lot of him today, of him getting in behind and getting at this outside back. He's very direct, and if he gets an opportunity, he's probably going to take it.
And lastly, our first look at Ian Dollard there, as Ian, just certainly one of the other most explosive player for the Cougs. And we're underway here for boys soccer. What did you see from Ian?
I think you just saw exactly what Ian's going to be looking to do. He gets in behind with his, he's got a great pace, a real eye for goal, and he's somebody that if he catches the defense, he's going to punish him.
Coach Steve talked a lot about, and we're seeing here. It's always interesting when we, we feel like a little bit of prognosticators out here. We talked in the pregame with Coach Steve about the comfortability the team has in putting the ball on their goalie's Markoliu's foot, and as we see our first attempt of the game, and no trouble there for Oliu, not even an attempt at a save. He has 104 of those so far on the season. He's one of the state's top sophomore goalkeepers.
Mark's fantastic. He's played at PDA for years, and he was actually a field player there. That's why he's so good with his feet. He's somebody that will pull off, breathtaking saves. But the fact that he's so comfortable with his feet gives them the liberty of playing back to him, playing out of pressure, and it really helps your defense out when you have somebody back there that's so comfortable on the ball.
Montgomery keen on attempting to keep possession as Edelstein wins that one in the air. And Steve talked about those second balls. It's not just enough to win the header. It's what are you doing with the touch after that, because you could win every header you want, but if you don't control the the play after that, that's pretty useless.
Yeah, Steve stresses winning second balls. It's kind of how you gather the momentum, especially in state games where it's win or go home. It's all about momentum. You really want to get those second balls. You want to get the ball down early, and you want to be demanding, as much from them as they are from you.
Montgomery able to keep control here in the early going, as now they push it out wide to Andrew Hans, and he will look to create into the middle. So as this game unfolds, Montgomery keeps possession, assuming this kind of keeps up. This is really the kind of game Montgomery wants to play, correct?
Yes, they want to, we want to dominate the ball and have as much possession as possible. And that's how they're going to generate chances. We do have the ability to hit teams on the counter, but like, we talked about earlier, a lot of our players. As
we see it here with Edelstein through and across, and a first good opportunity there is just missed by Montgomery. And that's what you've seen there, 7-10. Edelstein to Dollard. That's could be a theme today.
Yeah, I think it's something that they definitely were looking for to kind of exploit. But you see, we rather than going on the counter, really lulled them to sleep, and then had a fantastic opportunity where the high press is working, and we'll look to keep the ball from here and just keep doing what we've been doing.
See Montgomery there with capitalizing on the turnover from Hightstown, I should say, to keep possession here in the offensive end. This becomes a war of attrition at times, just from a stamina standpoint. When you have one team that wants to play like this, like Hightstown does, and if Montgomery dominates possession, it's you hope you wear them down as the game goes on.
And it's definitely frustrating for Hightstown, because they want to get the ball and they do want to play a little bit, but they're going to kind of be resigned to playing a little bit longer than they probably want to, because Montgomery is going to dominate the ball for long periods of this game.
Well, talk a little bit about your playing career too. You know, as you kind of go through all of this, as we get our first whistle, and Montgomery will play it forward quickly here, and not able to do much with it. But in your playing career, you know, what did you prefer in terms of your most productive years?
My most productive, I mean, I played as a forward, and I played, you know, predominantly in a team that was, you know, bigger, stronger, more athletic, but I was able to be that last kind of piece of, you know, that final ball gets in, and I was able to kind of take it and score. I would have, you know, really loved to play in a team like this where they do have a lot of possession and they do create a lot of chances, because as a forward, that's what you look for. You know, I equate it to a basketball player, the three-point shooter who gets a lot of shots. You want to get in a rhythm by getting as many opportunities as you can.
Hightstown re-triggering on the offensive end, and no sweat there for the Cougs. On the back line, Austin Dumas has really been a bright spot for Montgomery this year. You know, somebody that Coach Steve talked about being a consistent contributor over the last 2 seasons. You know, an impact freshman a year ago, and somebody that just kind of came in from day one and has been a mainstay. There's a turnover, but Montgomery able to recover. Some cautious play in the back, and that was well done again by Dumas back there.
Yeah, I think with Austin, you know, like you said, he's just done a great job from day one. He's never worried. He's never, you know, nervous. He just goes out there and does his job. You know, playing against Pinger, they're one of the best players in the state.
As you see, Edelstein trying to make a run here between 3 Hightstown defenders, and he's able to corral it, but loses a little bit of that advantage. Let's see if Montgomery can continue to attack, as it will end up. And can Hightstown save it? And it looks like they cannot. Nearly an opportunity there.
Yeah, and I think you see it again. That was Ian to Jason, just like we had the other opportunity earlier. Those two are going to be dangerous all day.
This team full of, despite you know, being here at home in the quarterfinals of this modified section, a very, very young team in terms of the players who play, but there are 16 seniors on this team.
Yeah, it's been a group, like, you know, since they were freshmen, we've been excited about. A lot of guys that play together, a lot of guys that play on decent club teams and are playing together during the off season. And you know, it's really cool to see what they're like as seniors and how the season's kind of unfolded for them. Andrew Hans is another one who came out of nowhere for us, and has just gotten better every day. And you know, he's getting a lot of the benefits of all of his hard work as, you know, starting his senior year.
Montgomery continuing to pressure Hightstown, but you see there something that's kind of a staple of this Hightstown team is, you know, playing quickly from the back, trying to get the ball out and counterattack as quickly as possible. That's kind of what they're known for. They try to play a through ball here, and they are able to do so. Here comes the first legitimate opportunity for the Rams, and a great job by Oliu out there to get control.
Yeah, I think when you're not going to have as much of the ball as Hightstown are, they're not going to dwell on the ball at the back. They're going to get it, and they're going to go as far as they can, going long and trying to see if they can win a second ball and get behind like they tried to right there. You know, it just takes a lot of concentration from the back four from Montgomery. Just, you know, keep the game in front of them, and then let their attacking players do what they need to do.
Another foul for Hightstown, and you know, you heard Coach Steep talk about the physical nature of the way this Hightstown team wants to play. So, you know, not necessarily surprised by you know, some whistles, especially in the middle of the field on some of these 50-50 balls. Montgomery trying to play it through into the box now. And a bicycle kick in just over the goal. Another impressive attempt in the middle by Edelstein.
Yeah, again, just another opportunity. And, you know, Hightstown will try and break up the play. That's, you know, how they'll try and stop the possession that we're playing. But, again, you see Jason is so dangerous. As a half chance, it turns into a great one.
Soccer's such a game of attrition at times. You know, it's sometimes a chess match, other times a cat fight, depending on the style of teams that you're, you know, in terms of the matchup styles. But how much of that cat and mouse game and that chess match, how long, you know, as a player when you're out there, how long does it take to kind of feel out, is our approach going to be the correct one here? Is that something you find happens rather quickly, or?
Yeah, in high school especially, you have to kind of make a decision quickly if it's working or not, because things, can change so drastically. You really have about 10, 15 minutes to really feel the other team out. Then you have to kind of decide, is the game plan working, or do we have to change to something else? I think that this is one of those games where, we're going to stick to our game plan and see, I think the first goal will really tell how this game's going to play out.
Edelstein sends it back to the middle and gets it on frame, but a good save out there from Hightstown and their keeper, Luis Alvarado. So a good left-footed try there from the Montgomery captain. So we see the sun peeking through. Really a picturesque scene at Cougar Stadium on days like this, if not otherwise blinding from this side of the field at times. It's always tough, even sometimes, as an official to see what the heck is going on at these, as the kids would say, Yannick, in the golden hour as we approach there.
Yeah, this is a little tough one. And it's very difficult to deal with set pieces when you have the sun like this, and especially for their keeper. So we'll be interested to see if we do get a couple of set pieces to try and test the keeper from a little bit further than we normally would.
See Montgomery pressing forward here and making a run, and they have some good numbers on this set. This is Dollard. And Ian working into space and still working, and now some poor spacing as they tried to work into space. So there will be a redirect from the Rams. Sadi Cabra, another player who really kind of benefited. Alex Bent had an injury earlier in the season, and Safek really the beneficiary of that in terms of playing time. And he, he hasn't really relinquished that by any stretch of the imagination. Even now with Bent, back from that injury, it doesn't really seem like Cabra is content to relinquish any of that playing time that he earned.
No, and Sadi's had a very good season. As a freshman, we were very excited with him. He was doing, really well at the start of last year, and he had an unfortunate injury. But he's come back stronger. He's come back, he's grown a little bit more physical. And, like you said, he got his opportunity. He's really taken it.
Now here is Dollard, and this could be trouble. 3-on-2 the other way, and Dollard is tackled from behind. And do we not get a call?
Yes,
we have to get something.
Yeah, there's a foul there, yeah.
No doubt about it. And let's see if this is just a talking to or something a bit more.
This is a difficult one for their keeper as well, because Jason and Ian will both be on this ball, and it's going to be difficult for him to tell which foot is going to come from the right foot or the left foot. It's a great opportunity for either of them to take a strike at the goal.
Ball is certainly within scoring distance for either of them here, as we're just outside the 18, and let's see who will take it. Edelstein runs over top of it, and they will.
Choi took an opportunity, yeah.
The captain headed to Clarkson, sends it just skyward of the goal. So we remain scoreless. 13 minutes or so into this ball game. The NJSIAA group for Central West B, as if they did this without any thought of announcers possibly.
Well, you got it down to a T. You've said it 4 or 5 times. I can't even remember it. So
when I tell you, I typed it out 5 or 6 times on my iPad this afternoon, and then just looked at it and stared at it, so that I said I have to remember this.
It's a great way to spend your day.
Oh, so the stupid memorization tactics that we all employed in high school. As we're going to have our first corner of the afternoon, and this one for Hightstown. Sometimes in trying to memorize these rosters and other stuff, you use those memory devices as a. Oh, is that in? That ball is in the goal. My goodness. It's just a miscommunication in the back for Montgomery, and it was a left-footed cross off the corner, and it looked like it caught Olyu a little bit off guard.
Yeah, I think it was a bad flick from one of the defenders in front of him trying to deal with it. Hightstown are notorious for being, very strong on set pieces and how they, take advantage of them. And you saw it right there with a great delivery. Very difficult for the defender to deal with. And, now we have to see Montgomery bounce back.
Exactly at the 13-minute mark, Hightstown grabs the lead. This is the 4-5 game. Montgomery, the 4 seed, and Hightstown, the 5.
And I think this is kind of what Hightstown's looking for. They're now, up a goal, and they can kind of sit a little bit deeper and play on the counter like they have been. So the Cougars are really going to have to step their game up and really focus on, creating chances, and they'll eventually have to take one.
And I don't know what that is. That's got to be maybe something. It's an admonishment at best for.
I think the other referee's going over to have a word as well.
I think the Montgomery coaching staff wanted a card on that, but they do not get it there. So again, Montgomery will play it through and into the middle, and it's going to be, again, just a little bit too tall for everybody out in front.
That was, good opportunity with the sun coming out again. We talked about it a little earlier to put one onto the keeper a little bit too long, but, I think you just have to keep knocking on the door.
How has Montgomery been playing from behind this season? Is this team equipped to do that?
Absolutely. The fact that they generate so many opportunities, as we've seen already, it's an extremely dangerous group. But they just have to take one of these chances, which they've shown that they can all season.
Montgomery playing without the services of Zach Oliu today, who is out with an injury. That's certainly an impactful piece for this team. Zach is the older brother of Mark Oliu, the team's goaltender.
Yeah, Zach's a fantastic player. I think he's somebody that every single team in the state knows. He's, been an important part of this team for 4 years, and it's very unfortunate, in his senior year that he had picked up an injury. Hopefully, we can come back and get this win, and he'll be back because he really is a joy to watch.
Good job by Ben Choi in the midfield there to earn another whistle and a possession for the Cougs. Dumas sends it forward. Marlon Montoya making up the third member of that forward group, and he plays in the center of that group. So he will be an integral part of what they are doing. He's only played 4 games here, as Montgomery making another run here forward, and a nice move into the middle, and still working on it, as Hightstown will just send it away for a Montgomery throw.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what Marlon's all about, working hard. He's very crafty, and, when he gets into the box, he makes things happen. Unfortunately, the ball got a little bit away from him there, but he's gonna have to keep doing that to kind of generate some more chances for us.
Cougs, though, able to maintain possession. That's always a for now statement, though, when it comes to soccer, as things can change so quickly from a end of the field standpoint. Good communication there from the Cougs. Giovanni Puglisi able to play it back to Oliu, who sends it up the field. Puglisi, another bright young player for this Cougar team. Certainly made an impact in the back.
Yeah, as a freshman, Gio's one of the, I think, best freshmen in the state. He didn't play last year. He's, playing academy level soccer, but he's back this year, and he's just been very good. He's been, very consistent at the back, and he's an emerging leader for this group.
Another whistle in a dangerous spot for Hightstown. So Montgomery with another really, really advantageous scoring opportunity here. Let's see what they do this time, if they change anything up.
Looks like an indirect free kick, not a direct, until someone's got to touch it before it can go into the goal.
Take our audience through that. What determines that?
It's really not as serious fouls, whether you're going to call it indirect or if it's a simple kind of something the defender did wrong. I'm not really sure what the call was there, but they're going to have to see if someone can get a touch on this before they have a go at the target.
So it will be Choi again, who sends it towards Edelstein, and he'll play it into the middle. And a really nice set piece from Montgomery there And Hightstown wanted a handball but didn't get it. And they will counterattack. Now coming the other way, 2-on-1. This is trouble. Montgomery able to recover into the midfield. And boy, that is a heck of an effort in the back. A fantastic effort from Martin Fedorchik. Able to basically stymie the entire effort himself. And that one could have been an opportunity for the Cougs, but maybe played a touch too early. Now Hightstown sends it to the middle, but Dumas there to control with no real problem.
I think we're starting to see the game get a little bit open. Both teams are starting to have opportunities. We're really going to need to, see if the defense, the midfield can kind of tighten this up and move the ball a little bit more.
Cougars 7-6 on the season, as played out of bounds there by Hightstown. And Hightstown coming into this game, also a game over 500. They played some pretty good teams over in the Colonial Valley Conference in Mercer County. And just a mistouch there by Andrew Hans. So Hightstown will have a throw deep in their own territory. We are midway through the first half of the Group 4 quarterfinals. Central Jersey West B bracket, modified from what we used to just call Central Jersey Group 4. Now Montoya, as he slips through two guys and still with it on his feet, and before he is dispossessed. Sounds like an exorcism more than a soccer move. As now Edelstein, he tries to run underneath it and cannot. It's interesting in sports like soccer, sometimes you can feel like you're in complete control of a game, and yet somehow, and here's Dollard and a great ball through to the outside, but nobody quite home to receive it for Montgomery. As Dollard gets himself into some space and a shot, and that's a misplay by the goalkeeper there. That ball is headed wide, and he puts a touch on it anyway, so it's going to get Montgomery its first corner of the afternoon.
Hightstown's really trying to they're soaking up a lot of pressure right now. This is where we really need to capitalize. We have a lot of numbers forward, but this is where they are dangerous on the counter, as we saw before.
Ben Choi, the captain, will take the corner for Montgomery. You see some jostling in front of the net now as Choi sends it to the middle, and it actually got to get itself all the way through, and it's off Montgomery for a Hightstown goal kick. So Yannick, so far this is kind of stylistically the game that we expected. Montgomery, keeping a good amount of the possession, and Hightstown really just trying to counter quickly if possible, and they were able to capitalize off of a set piece 13 minutes into this game. But other than that, this kind of feels like how we thought it might go.
Yeah, it's one of those games where it's unfortunate that some of those early chances didn't go in for Montgomery, but they have to stick to what they're doing and stick to the plan, and keep playing their game, and they will get rewarded eventually if they keep this pressure on. They just have to keep it together at the back. But this is exactly what Hightstown were looking for. They got their early goal, and now they can kind of soak up some pressure.
That time it was Fedorchik who played it out of bounds, and Hightstown will have a throw. Seemed like that was the first piece of potentially even any kind of miscommunication in the back for Montgomery there, other than the goal, of course, which just might have been a bad touch. And a very dangerous opportunity there for Hightstown, and nearly the second goal of the afternoon. And that time it was Jason Ordonez who just nearly couldn't catch up to that ball.
Yeah, their left back is venturing very far forward. When they do have opportunities to go forward, they will send a lot of numbers, which leaves a lot of space at the back for Ian Dollard and Jason Edelstein to get into.
And that's where you hope Montgomery can be the ones to counterattack.
Yeah, it's and it's kind of a, like you said a little earlier, cat and mouse kind of game. You know, they're throwing numbers forward. They want to go get the second goal, and at the same time they leave themselves kind of open at the back where we have a lot of pace to get in behind.
Cougars really kind of dominating the possession as we get another whistle, and Montgomery will try to push things forward. And we're going to have our first yellow card of the afternoon, and that was, I think they are going to book that one to Sebastian Contreras. Must have been a bit of a verbal. Unless he said, did they say 24 there?
I thought so.
And if in that case, it would be Kevin Pintado. Yes, 24. That's Pintado. He must have had some words for the official that he did not enjoy. So our first booking of oh no, they want hold on, I believe they want 16:24, I believe should be the time. There we go. Now we have it correct. So I think our first assessment of the foul was correct on Contreras, but the officials just wanted an extra 8 seconds added to the clock. That's one of the old officiating nightmares. You never put time back on the clock.
Yeah.
So it's what we learned that in officiating school. Unless there's some kind of video evidence. You catch me never putting time back on a clock, I'll tell you that.
As a player, you always want it when you're losing, and you want less of it when you're winning.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Always one of those.
Always. Edelstein plays it through, and Dollard tried to make a run, but no need really there.
Okay, we got a sub coming in. Alex Bent coming in now.
Yep, Bent will come on for the first time. And high school soccer rules, obviously, for anybody watching, not familiar, certainly not like international rules where once you sub, you cannot return. That's certainly not how this plays out. I don't know that anybody would ever make it through. Is Edelstein? He tries to play a through ball, and now he can. Here's Montoya trying to run under it. Puts a foot on it and cross, and a great job defensively by Hightstown there. Otherwise, Dollard was waiting in the wings there, and he might have been able to put in the equalizer. And they're going to say a goal kick.
I think there's just great pressure again from Montgomery. We're really, at their front door. You just have to keep pushing. Got to start making a little bit easier chances for, our attacking guys, but the pressure's fantastic right now.
Cabra was the man there for the Cougs. You see Puglisi playing that one back to Oliu without any problems for Mark. And he's able to connect. There's a great ball off the left foot of Edelstein. Finds Montoya, and he will make another run. And another nice defensive play there from Hightstown. And in the back, that was Kevin Pintado. And now Montoya. That nearly single-handedly from Dollard, as he now plays it through, was just a fantastic individual effort to keep that ball down in the sand. Montoya, though, has been pretty impressive, Yannick. He's only played a couple of games this season. I believe 4 contests, 3 goals and an assist in 4 contests so far for Montgomery this year. You'll take that every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's been very, very dangerous. He had an unfortunate injury, which has been a lot of these guys early this year, but he's come back and he's played very, very well since his return. And he's popping up with some important goals, which is what you want this time of the year.
Another turnover.
I think we're starting to see Montgomery start looking for Ian Dollard on his side a little bit more. It's been a lot of Jason Edelstein's side, but we're going to see I think they're trying to get Ian a little bit more involved.
Here's another chance for the Cougs as they push forward. And is that going to be a foul? That could be a penalty kick.
It looks like it. Stop the clock.
Is that
yeah,
good? Are they awarding a PK?
It looks like it.
A foul on Hightstown
This
in
is
the
where
box,
Jason
and there's going to be a.
Looks like they're going to have a little discussion to see where the foul was.
This is a big call. Let's see what the officials do here.
Yeah,
and
man,
yes,
they've given it.
a penalty kick coming for Montgomery, and this is huge. And you have to think Edelstein here, right, Yannick?
Yeah. This is Jason's the penalty kick taker with Zach out. So, Jason's been fantastic at these this year. So, just got to stay calm and tuck it home.
Down a goal, Edelstein. And they're equal. Jason Edelstein, his 11th goal of the season, and Montgomery's tied it at 1.
That's a great job just staying calm. That's a high-stress situation, but, it's very difficult for the goalkeeper to save those, so he just got to pick a spot and tuck it home. He did a great job there. And now, we have a little bit of momentum, so let's see if we can go push on and get another one.
26:59 into the first half. See that I did math there, Poke.
That was pretty good.
Right?
He was counting on his fingers just in case you were wondering.
I know. I'm good like that. And Hightstown now will regather. So now Montgomery looking to counter again, but possession just a little bit short there.
And now it's Bent with a very good tackle. Will be interesting to see how Hightstown change up their game plan. They already look like they're stepping a little bit higher. They have been pushing numbers forward, so let's see if they push any more.
It has been, though, in what we would call settled situations in other sports. Hightstown playing an extra man in the back. It seems like compared to what they might normally do in reaction to this potent Montgomery front line.
That's definitely something that they definitely looked into.
As another opportunity now for Hightstown here in the back as they send it into the middle, and a good job of clearance in front of Oliu there. And again, that was Fedorchik, or check that was Andrew Hans.
Yeah, and I think, when they scouted Montgomery, they definitely looked and saw the offense and thought to stick another person at the back. But, they may have to push another person forward now with how the game played out.
Ariel Barreto on the cross, and that one just a little too tall, so a goal kick. Hightstown, though, doing a pretty good job. The limited opportunities that they've had forward, they've made it scary for Montgomery.
Absolutely, and they've been very solid at the back. Some great, last-second tackles and just getting in the way of, all the attack guys. And they've kept Ian Dowd a little quiet so far, but, he just needs one opportunity, and, he can surprise some people.
So let's see if Montgomery can give him that opportunity, as Edelstein is dispossessed there, but it will be a throw for the Cougs. No, they're actually going to call that a...
No, it is a throw. No, it is a throw.
Okay, I was going to say. It's...
Ben Choi doing one of the things I used to teach him. He's always trying to take a free kick there.
Good job defensively from Hightstown that time right in front of us. Jasue Vintimila. So Andrew Hans now with it. Good job by Edelstein and Hans to keep that one in play. And Montoya, I don't know if he realized that he was going for Edelstein. Now Jason with a through ball, and on his left foot, maybe one more touch there, Yannick?
Yeah, I think he kind of rushed it a little bit. When you get to that time part of the field, the window of opportunity is very small, but I don't think he knew how open he was. He probably could have taken another touch and kind of settled himself, but he did everything else correct. Took time, tried to pass into the side netting. He just kind of mishit it a little bit.
Hightstown coaching staff was threw their hands up looking for offside. I don't think he was anywhere nearly offside.
No,
on that
no,
play.
and I think Jason really does time his runs very well, and that's a great example of it. It's an unfortunate foul on him right there.
Edelstein can't believe it, but that's a risky play there from the rear as well. You have to be careful.
Weather's starting to get a little nasty right now.
Yeah, this has been a little bit like upstate New York, more so than anything else. As OLU plays it on one bounce. We've gone from normal weather as when we got here, and then it was sunny and fall-like and beautiful, and now we're playing. It's the Carolina Panther or the New England Patriots and the Baltimore Ravens
That's what it looks like right now.
from the other night. No problem, and another whistle.
Tough one. I think Warren had a chance to play Jason in there. The ref, made a little call early. Let's see what we can look for now.
Cougars playing it to the outside and still inbounds, but played out by Hightstown. Yeah, the rain really coming down here now. And I looked it up. I wasn't expecting this. I saw a 15% chance of rain. Well, 100% chance it's greater than 15.
Yes,
How about that?
Absolutely. It's raining a lot right now. This will, play into Montgomery's style of play. The ball will move a little bit quicker, and that's what they're looking for.
Well, you just answered my question. That's why you're here.
That's what I try and do. Try and help you out.
My man. Listen, we're boneheads at a lot of different things, but I can tell you one thing. There's a lot of stuff that we know that we don't know. So in those very obvious situations, we try to bring in the people who do. So can't thank you, Yannick Smith, for being here with us. This is fantastic.
When I get called down to the office, it's normally not the best thing, so I was happy for this call this time.
Like called down to the like he's in trouble. Oh, goodness. Edelstein. As you see, the back line of Hightstown there playing three defenders very well back.
Yeah, they're really trying to keep the game in front of them, trying to limit the space in behind, which actually gives Montgomery a little bit more space through the middle. And that's where we're starting to generate chances from, just having a little bit more control in the midfield and trying to hurt them with these through balls.
This could be some trouble, but Hightstown not able to connect on it. And they're going to say a corner for the Rams.
This is where Hightstown's very dangerous. They have, scored a lot of goals this year off set pieces. They're, one of their best opportunities where the goal came from was a set piece. So Cougars really need to be, locked in right now and ready to go.
Ariel Barreto sends it into the middle and easily cleared away by Montgomery here.
And this is where we want to go fast. We have numbers, we really need to try and exploit this.
They send it forward for their leading scorer, and he's trying to make an individual play on it. Kind of a 1-on-3 situation. No call there as Hightstown will continue to advance. This is the game that we were afraid Hightstown might play as a dangerous play into the middle, and OLU there to corral it, and a very dangerous situation for the Cougs.
And Marks did well to kind of stand his ground and be big. That's a situation where a lot of keepers will charge out. Actually gives the striker the better opportunity there. But Marks stood his ground well and just was able to kind of catch that ball and get us out of that situation.
Luis Hostetler was the man forward for Hightstown and very, very nearly had the team's second goal.
I think the game is starting to really get open now. I think Montgomery really needs to kind of put their foot on the ball and slow it down a little bit and just start playing their possession-based game again. That's how they started generating chances earlier. And Hightstown want to play a nice open game where both teams are stretch and create chances.
Rams attempting to play it forward again, and this again is Hostetler as he'll play it into the box. And another pretty dangerous situation there for the Cougs. Hightstown really capitalizing on the few opportunities that they have had here.
I think you see why they're a high-rated team in states. They do create chances when they do get on this counter. They have played their game plan very well, sitting in, and when they do throw numbers forward, they are very dangerous. So definitely something that Montgomery needs to be a little aware of at the back.
4 minutes before halftime of the Central Jersey Group 4 quarterfinals. Central West B, to be precise. And the Rams now playing a little Montgomery ball as a powerful left-footed shot is well wide of the goal. So no issue there for the Cougs. Can Montgomery mount another scoring effort? That will be the question.
Then they got to keep just plugging away, trucking on, So we always use that joke in driver's ed class, tell the kids just keep trucking along when you can. I know we talk about Hickory Driving School a lot. That's their motto, just truck along. So got to keep these kids, the Cougars got to keep doing that.
First time we've had to deal with weather on the camera, Pogue. You're doing a fantastic job over there.
I mean, I'm terrified for the camera, but I'm glad it's working.
So far, so good, as Oliu there again to corral that one, and he will try to counter, or trigger the counter at least, for the Cougs. Edelstein gets run over from the rear, and that one will go to Hightstown.
Yeah, it's interesting. They've really gone down Jason's side a lot, and he has shown why he's so dangerous, and he's hit double-digit goals this year. And Hightstown has actually slid another defender towards his side, so they definitely are kind of worried about trying to see if they can deal with it defensively that way.
Claire really getting tough there. For all of us here, as the sun now pokes back out. And Hightstown. Good job by the Cougs. And we're going to get a whistle there. See if we can get that water off of that camera at the half for you, as we have about 90 seconds to go before halftime. See if we can improve everybody's viewpoint of what's going on. But it's been an entertaining first 38 and a half minutes.
Yeah, I think when you get to the state tournament, this is kind of what you want to see, where both teams are creating chances, two different styles of play. It's been a very good first half. And, of course, the sun's coming back out now.
Of course. I mean, maybe we'll have snow in the second half. We can just run through everything that we could possibly have to deal with here, weather-wise.
If it starts snowing, I got to get out of here.
That's it. I'm leaving. Calling it. Oh, boy. And I also want you to know, I don't know if we're going to invite you back. This has become the most professional broadcast we've done in, at least a couple of years. And I don't know if that fits my style. Hightstown, as they play it through. But a good job by Montgomery.
No, I sincerely apologize. I'll get a lot more unprofessional in the second half. I'll do what I can.
Everyone in MIRE land appreciates that. I almost said MIRE Radio Land again. I guess that is the name of the website. We're a bit antiquated at this point with that, but we started as a radio brand.
It sounded good. It sounded good once you said it.
Thanks, Coach. We are nearing the midway point of this ball game. Hightstown trying to make one last run, if possible. Dumas out there for the Cougs, and he does well to limit that attempt. As bent, not enough contact for a foul. So can Hightstown get after it here? The last couple of seconds before the half, but another nice job in the back by the Cougs, and that will take us to the half. So credit Andrew Hans that time for keeping things level. We have played 40 minutes in Skillman, the Central Jersey West B Group 4 quarterfinals.
There it is.
Still haven't messed it up. We're going to take a break. We'll be back. We'll get some water off this camera. Hopefully we won't have any snow, and we'll be back with some analysis in the second half. Coming up right after this. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. welcome back to Montgomery. Keith Glock, Yannick Smith, and Matt Pogue. We are at halftime of the Central Jersey Group 4 Central West B. Damn, I almost had it. I ruined my perfect streak of it for the.
It's the North, South, Central, East Conference.
Can you put any more directions in the stinking thing? I mean, come on.
I was just telling everybody how great you were doing at it. You're going to mess it up first.
Hey,
first
that's
part
what
of
the
second
MIRE
half.
does. We ruin good momentum.
We usually start the bar very low. Then we raise expectations a little, and then no doubt we disappoint you. That's pretty much how we roll. So anyway, Yannick, Montgomery able to, on the foot of Jason Edelstein's penalty kick, able to get level at 1 here. Montgomery going into the second half, what are they really looking to do in terms of, or do you change anything, or are you happy with how things went?
I don't think you change anything. I think they've generated so many opportunities. They've played well. They've, had chances. And to be fair to Hightstown, they've defended very, very well. So if I'm Montgomery, I'm doing the exact same thing, just coming out with a little bit more energy. Hightstown, definitely their coach is kind of ripping into them, so they're going to come out ready to go in the second half. And if Montgomery can match their intensity, we always say the first 5 minutes is a critical moment. If they can get through that, they can really go back to doing what they were doing.
Is that a thing? I guess, you just triggered something in me. Coaches in other sports have the ability to say, win the next 8 minutes, because that's when the natural quarter break is. You don't really have that in soccer. Is there a thing that you divide it up into certain segments in that way?
Yeah, I think critical moments I've always talked about with these guys is the first 5 minutes of any half, first 5 minutes after a goal, and the last 5 minutes of a half are always times where you never want to concede. And if you can score in those moments, it's really, it really kills off the other team. So, especially the first 5 of this half is going to be very important to kind of grab that momentum again. And, anytime you can score a goal right after that's another critical moment. You really want to grab the momentum once again.
They talk about it in mixed martial arts, actually. You see guys come out, like gangbusters in the first, minute or 90 seconds of the first round of a big fight, and then they slow down something right after that, and they call it the adrenaline dump.
Oh, 100%. And, this is something that, you never want to empty the tank too early, especially in a state game, because we do have the opportunity that it could go to, extra time. So this is something that we really need to kind of monitor from both groups and see who can kind of get that momentum, keep it, and still maintain it for a long period of time.
Montgomery now attacking in a direction that we don't love because we can't see anything. As now Montgomery will play it back.
Just keeping possession, starting to try and draw Hightstown out a little bit so they can kind of generate another chance.
And it'll be a throw for Hightstown.
Alex Bennett starting this half again. He had a lot of opportunities in the first half to get on the ball.
Good job out of you, Pogue. A little dance there to try to get the scoreboard back working.
I was just saying, it wasn't stressful. We need a little of that.
All things technical, and most of what you see that makes this production look pretty are courtesy of Mr. Pogue. So
I'll always say Pogue is very light on his feet, very nimble. He's moving around here. He's a big guy. You wouldn't even know.
Yannick, I got to tell you a story as soon as we get a minute here. And that clearly
was
like a handball.
Yeah,
oh my goodness!
I think the refs missed that one.
Big time. That was very clear, and a miss there from the officials, which provides a fantastic segue for you. Talk about Pogue being athletic. I somehow snookered Pogue into becoming a lacrosse official. So, I mean, what better way to let somebody who has never officiated lacrosse before learn is over this past summer I brought him with me to officiate, 2 of the top 5 teams in the state. What could possibly go wrong? And he did something that was one of the most athletic things I've ever seen an official do. And I'm being totally serious about this. He was just, and not through no fault of his own, was in a spot that, like, the kids just converged on him. Sometimes it just happens.
Yeah.
As Hightstown now will send a ball through. And it may be a little miscommunication, but a good recovery by the Cougars. And maybe out a little bit of danger, but And maybe not. Can Hightstown save it? Yes, but now finally cleared out by Montgomery. So he just got himself caught up a little bit, and he slid in one motion and was like a pop-up slide into second base, avoiding two kids from absolutely murdering him. The kids on the field all went, whoa! Like, multiple kids commented during live play about what Pogue was able to do.
Pogue is a very impressive person, so it doesn't surprise me at all.
I didn't know what they were talking about.
Can Montgomery get? They were offside. Yeah, Dollard looked offside there. And the hand is up. So, now listen, I'm going to do this for a second, but this doesn't happen very often.
Make sure that's recording. Is that recording? Okay, good. All right, good.
I was out running this afternoon and thinking about, just trying to clear my head a little bit before this game, which I kind of like to do because, and we're gonna get a foul there. No, yeah, they're gonna say a free kick for Hightstown. That just like to get my thoughts together before a broadcast like this, and Pogue and I had been constructing what we wanted to do over the course of the weekend and certainly the early part of this week. And I was thinking to myself how grateful I was to have you on this, Pogue, because I just honestly could not be done without you. And it's, if we tried to, it would be a failure. So, okay, that's it.
Yeah, I appreciate that, but that was weird. We don't do that. What is that?
That's a really sentimental moment. I'm glad I could be a part of that.
Let's go back to making fun of there's no instant replay. Let's do that. That was better.
Well, there's only so many things you can do on a day where you got to work the camera, so we'll let you slide on that.
Here goes Marlon Montoya again.
This was triggered by the save from Oliu. Into the middle, Edelstein puts one touch on it, and it was just high over the crossbar. That would have been pretty.
And it's just Marlon again just causing trouble for this Hightstown defense. He turned the defender really quick and got in behind, and he's just been doing that since he's been back, and that's why he's contributed so many goals in such a short amount of time.
I have really been impressed with the play of Montoya in the middle up front, as Edelstein gets run over on the outside.
I think the Cougars did a good job of matching their intensity to start the half, and it's starting to settle down, and you're seeing we're getting a lot more possession and starting to get a little bit more opportunities. We really need to take one of these now.
You see the captains, Edelstein and Choi, there together, as the Clarkson-bound senior will play it forward for his teammate, and now into the middle. And Dollard tried to put a right foot on it, but Hightstown there to cut him off. And this could be trouble coming the other direction. Hightstown looking to re-trigger. A fantastic hustle play by Fedorchik to get back in the hole, as they say. And now the Rams play it through. Pretty good angle on that. That actually was maybe a little bit more dangerous than the play ended up and how it concluded. But
yeah, it's a good ball by the Hightstown player, and I think Gio Puglisi had it covered if it did get to that spot, but it was a good ball, very dangerous. Now they get a corner out of it.
It will again be Ariel Barreto who will put a right foot on it from the corner. And as he sends it skyward, Oliu punches it out, and a missed opportunity there from Hightstown on a second chance. And now can Montgomery redirect? This is going to be a foot race. Montoya.
And he's going to win it.
He is going to win it.
That's a good tackle. That's a good tackle.
A fantastic play back there. Again, that was Kevin Pintado.
He's had a very busy game over there at the back.
Sun becoming a factor certainly for us, and will be a factor possibly for Oliu in the cage, but I think the advantage was probably a little bit more for Montgomery in the first half.
Yeah, Sun's setting pretty quickly, so Mark may have an issue with it if it does come from his right side, but I think he'll be able to deal with it. It's not too bad. It's worse for us for sure. But again, you know, we'll deal with it. That's what we do up here, correct?
That's what we do.
I'm learning fast.
Attaboy. Better watch out. You can get yourself invited back here.
I don't do too much right now, so.
And we just had we had a little tussle in front of the cage. At the cage, as I call it. I can't get that out of my head. Sadi Cabra just kind of in a little bit of a hand fight out there, and he's now pleading his case with the officials because he didn't really like the level of contact that he was getting from the Hightstown defense. Edelstein on his left foot, and he sends it in. Wow, a dangerous, dangerous opportunity, and a sliding attempt from Montoya comes up just a little short.
You know, Marlon's probably a couple inches away from redirecting that on goal and making it very dangerous for their goalkeeper. But again, this is just great pressure from the Cougars. They've kind of maintained this pressure throughout the game. Kind of resorted Hightstown to just playing long, which, you know, they've done well, but again, this is not what they want to do.
Here's another through ball. Montoya just can't catch up for that one. You're starting to get the sense here that Hightstown is just hanging on now. But, you know, you're hanging on, but you're even.
Yeah,
you know? So.
And I think it's something we saw in the first half where, you know, they got one opportunity and they were able to, you know, get a little fortunate. But, you know, Montgomery has great numbers forward at a lot of times. Hightstown has stepped another player into the midfield, so it has been a little bit more difficult for them to play out of the back. So if we can keep this pressure up, you know, they're playing almost 1v1 at the back, which is very risky with the pace that we have up top.
So we talked about, you know, changes for Montgomery from the first half to the second. That is a change for Hightstown from the first half to the second. Yeah,
certainly. They definitely changed their formation. It looks like they have 5 in the midfield now. I think they're trying to keep a little bit more, and the coach just yelled it, so they're trying to keep a little bit more possession than they did in the first half.
An interesting bit of change from Hightstown and Olio has a little bit of trouble with that one. That was a great job, and Olio does well there to keep it inbounds and on his hands.
I think his reflexes are one of his best attributes. He gets down to things and gets up to things quicker than most keepers I've seen. And, you know, his size does hurt him at times, but not nearly as much as you would think.
Montoya, after a good job by Edelstein to get it down. Marlon playing a little game of cat and mouse. And a good job again in the back by Hightstown.
I think we have seen the Cougars miss Zach Olio a little bit in the midfield.
Sure.
He's fantastic at playing those through balls, especially to Ian and Jason. And I think, you know, this would have been a game that's very open, would have given him a lot of space to operate in the middle. But they have maintained possession even without him. So the opportunities are there. It's just going to be who can take one.
"11 minutes or so gone by in the second half. Central Jersey Group 4 quarterfinals. Central West B quarterfinals. It was a Hightstown goal 13 minutes into this ball game off of a corner kick for the Rams. And Montgomery got even with 13 minutes to play. It's been lucky number 13. Maybe that bodes well for Sadi Cabra. He wears number 13. And that's where we find ourselves, knotted at 1. The winner of this one will likely get top-seeded Princeton in the next round.
Princeton team has had a good season this year as well. Has some big wins on their schedule, but I know that is a game that, you know, both these teams would love to get to and see if they can knock off the top seed.
Good job by the Cougs, and Montoya takes that one off the noggin.
Yeah.
But unfazed regathers. I think that's just par for the course, right?
Yeah, you just kind of have to go with it. Never like to deal with that as a forward.
Dollard with pace now. And he takes a big swing, and good job there by the Rams.
It's a difficult Heights team Hightstown team.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, to break down. They really do get in front of a lot of things, and they are pretty compact when we get around the 18. So it's going to be difficult to break them down and get that last opportunity to kind of take the lead, but still plenty of time.
Dumas, a good job there for the Cougars in the back. Nice job by both teams there in the air.
It's probably going to be a foul against
Yep.
Ben. Oh, and it's going to go.
Wow.
Wow.
And that's the second time that Hightstown has potentially delayed the restart of the game. And listen, you do it until they stop you, right? Oh,
Yeah,
a great
absolutely.
run here by
Ooh.
Edelstein, and he was onside. He was absolutely onside.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's something, like you said, you do it until you're stopped. It is hurting Montgomery trying to get out and play quickly after these little set pieces, free kicks. Something that they do like to do is Hightstown plays a quick one there. So that's something that they're going to have to look into because it is stopping some opportunities from happening.
I would have to think. I mean, you've already been spoken to twice about it. Even a situation like that, I don't feel like needs to be the same player for the next guy to get carded on a situation like that.
Yeah, it usually isn't. It's usually a talking to, and that's why they have the captains out there at the start of the game. The captains are meant to relay the message to everybody as well. You never like to see kids get cards for that, but like you said, if it is stopping play and stopping opportunities, the referees will have to step in at some point.
You're always trying to gauge, the impact of anything has on the game, and if you could be impacting a potential scoring opportunity, that's the type of situation, especially in a state game where you want to step in. But like you said, you usually as the officials try to stay away from injecting themselves into that type of situation.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think either ref wants to be the main reason that this game gets decided one way or the other.
No. Never. You never want that. "15 minutes gone by in the second half of this ball game, and it's been a back and forth competitive one as a very dangerous ball played through to the middle, and it looked like there that perhaps Joe Lenzo may have been better playing that with his head than his foot.
I think Hightstown started to grow into the game a little bit more. They've seemed to settle down. I think the change in formation has helped. They still have a decent amount of numbers back, but they're definitely a little bit more comfortable playing through the middle with the extra man.
Oh, offensively, I don't even think it's a question. I think it's very clear that they look like a different team because of that formational change. So now, as you see this happen, does it now become the more of the onus on the Montgomery front line here to capitalize on one of these opportunities?
Yeah, as you can see,
as Jason here will look for some space, and now he works for Dollard. And Ian is looking for a call, but doesn't get it.
Yeah, there is more space, and you're the Jason and Ian and Marlon are going to find themselves in 1v1 situations more often now.
As Hightstown will trigger against Dumas, as he does well to break that situation up.
And now we're going to look for Jason over the top.
This is it. Here's a long ball, and this is going to be a speed play. Can he get there? And good job by Hightstown and Luis Alvarado to come out there and take that opportunity away, because it did look like Edelstein was going to get there.
Yeah, with Hightstown pushing another person into the midfield, they do lose that extra guy at the back that was kind of watching those runs. But now you're seeing the game really opening it up, where it's just end to end right now.
And nobody home for Hightstown, but that ended up being a little more tricky than Mark Oliu maybe probably wanted.
Yeah, it's Hightstown are really starting to go for it now, and it's great. It's if you're a neutral, this is a great kind of thing to see where both teams are going after. I think Montgomery got to settle down a little bit, get the ball down, and play their game. But you can see they have great numbers at the up top, so if they can't go quickly, they will.
You can see the Hightstown opportunities growing here from the outside, and that one is just out of bounds. If you're Ricky Steve and the Cougars, do you look to change anything up here because of the growing opportunities from Hightstown?
I think if they weren't, generating chances of their own.
And here's another one, Edelstein, and this is going to be, Montoya couldn't get a good first touch on it, and otherwise that could have been real problems for Hightstown.
Tackle. Yeah, I think if Montgomery weren't creating chances, generating their own, I think they'd be a little bit more concerned. But this has been a kind of back and forth second half so far, and they are getting good opportunities. So I think they're just going to keep plugging away.
Just a misplay there from Dollard as he tried to gather it at his feet and couldn't do it. And looks like they're going to let them play. Does Oliu come out for this one? He does. It's a foot race, and Mark is calm as ever there to corral that one.
I think the ref's going to go back.
And that was a play-on situation, and it's going to be a talking to for Ben. Oh, no, it's going to be a card for Ben Choi.
Yeah, I think the ref's going to say that Ben tried to stop the counterattack there. Difficult one right there, but, Ben will get off, he'll get a quick drink, and he'll get back on. He's extremely vital to what Montgomery wants to do.
So now Hightstown. As the official just still making sure everything is copacetic.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get the free kick. I think it's just going to be, Mark's ball. Yeah.
You don't get two bites at the apple.
No,
so to speak.
not in that situation. If he had called it earlier, then he would have. But and that's good refereeing by he wanted to make sure that he gave Hightstown the opportunity to play that out.
Such a subtlety of the way this game can be officiated, and a good job there. You certainly want to hold the offending team responsible without disadvantaging the team with the opportunity to score.
And you see Ben coming right back to his role. He'll have to be a little bit, play a little bit safer with that yellow card now. But he's a mature, veteran player. He's going to keep doing what he has been doing so far this game.
Another yellow would mean that he has to take a seat as Montoya looking for some space into the middle, and he plays it off the side of the goal. We call that a mom goal in lacrosse because it hits the side and all the moms get excited.
It's another great opportunity. It's a great run by Marlon. And again, you see why he's scoring goals since he's come back. It's a great opportunity right there.
This will be Choi for the Cougs as he sends it to the middle. And wow, an amazing heel from Edelstein, and it was nearly played on goal. Wow, that was almost an incredible play from Jason Edelstein.
Yeah, that would have been one of the goals where you asked Jason how he did it, and he'd say he has no idea, just kind of trying to redirect it towards goal and hope for the best. But again, just the pressure's really mounting. Starting to get a little bit clearer chances. It's going to be, vital that the Cougars do take one of these soon, because as this game goes on, we've seen Hightstown's growing a little bit more into it.
This game stays, tied like this. Do you think that there's one team, as we, approach the end of regulation, that this, that this would benefit? I guess is the best way to ask that.
I guess you want to say Hightstown since they are the road team. I think as the home team, you feel the pressure to kind of get the results, especially in states. But it does help that we did get a decent crowd out here. You see the basketball guys down there cheering on the Cougars. So. It could go either way. I think right now, Montgomery are a little bit more comfortable on the ball, so Hightstown may want to sneak one and get out of here.
And nearly offside there, but no call as they play it into the middle. And Montoya looking to, and that's going to be a handball. Got to be.
Yeah, I think the refs.
Even from well behind the play, the official there able to see that.
Just Ben in that role. He's wins the ball and moves it forward.
Cabra. And Choi will just play it into the back, and Montgomery will regroup some things. So let's reset it for you here. 1-1 Montgomery and Hightstown in the 4-5 game of Central Jersey Group 4 in the quarterfinals. As Hightstown jumped out to an early 1-0 lead off of a corner that was misplayed by Montgomery. I'm not sure if it was an own goal or not, but either way, it just seemed like there was some confusion back there, and it led to some hands in the air.
Yeah, definitely an unfortunate bounce that took the ball beyond Margolio, but Montgomery did well to bounce back, really stayed focused, and they were able to get that penalty kick not too long after.
Jason Edelstein with 13 minutes to go, I should say, in that first half, was able to come up with the equalizer on his left foot, his 11th goal of the season, and that's where we stand right now, knotted at 1. You see the Cougar captain. Ooh, that was, from all the way back here, it certainly looked like it was off Hightstown, but you can't really.
Can't tell from all the way up here.
No, there's a reason why the official was standing 3 feet from that. Those are the ones that always get me, too, as an official. I'm like, dude, you're 65 yards away and you're yelling at me right now. I was right there. Another dangerous ball. It's flicked over the head of Oliu, and it's into the goal, and Hightstown has grabbed the lead.
I think that's what we've been talking about, where Hightstown is starting to get a little bit more comfortable. It's a good flicked ball. He gets a good bounce, and, it's a tough spot for Mark. He has to come out as quickly as he can, and the kid's able to just, knock the ball over him into the net. So really need the Cougars to kind of show, a little bounce back, a little resilience, and see if they can get, back into this game.
Sometimes it's just a moment's indecision there, but well done by Hightstown and the Rams. Now, do you think formationally they now switch back to where they had been?
I not right away. There's still 17 minutes, and they have played better with this formation, so they may stick with it for another 5 minutes or so. Let's see what happens here.
Now, Montgomery-wise, when do you change?
So, it's a tricky one because this isn't, a regular season game where, if...
And we're going to have another booking there.
Oh, a red card.
Oh, a red. Wow. Oh, this changes everything. My goodness.
Yeah, so now if I'm Coach Steve, I do think about changing the formation now with, Hightstown playing down a man. And one of their best players coming off, you may want to step somebody else a little bit more forward and apply a little bit more pressure.
Ariel Barreto was the man who earned the red. And Hightstown tried to sneak on Joshua Ventimiglia, and the home crowd was having none of it.
Got to appreciate the effort, though.
So Montgomery now will play man up the entire last 16:45.
And I think we've already seen Hightstown, slide another guy back. And now this is going to be where they're really trying to just soak up some pressure, be compact and break things up where they can.
Cabra does well to get a shin on it, as Montgomery with now a significant... What did you see on that call, Yannick?
It was a foul, and I think, the Hightstown player definitely said something to the ref. You don't know if it was foul language or, if it accumulated over the duration of the game, but the ref made a decision very quickly, so it leads me to think he said something the ref did not truly appreciate.
That's one of those things that, especially in high school sports, the sportsmanship aspect of just play in general, I think is such a point of emphasis.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something they talked to you about before the game as well, and it's unfortunate, if they were to advance, he would not be able to play in the next round as well. So something that we need to kind of keep an eye on the rest of the game.
A fantastic move there from Christopher Solis, as now Montoya will push forward, and he is held up in the middle, and no call. Instead, it will be Dollard. You hope you can, it seemed like Hightstown had a little extra pep in their step there after that red card. It seemed like teammates were upset about the call that was made. And if Montgomery can weather that adrenaline dump that we talked about there and potentially capitalize in this situation, that would be huge.
Yeah, they definitely, had a little, little energy after their teammate got sent off. But now you see they've really just bunkered in, and it's going to be a lot of one-way traffic for the last part of this game. Jason does well to get past his man and get us a corner. But their furthest player forward is at the 25-yard line, so they really have set up shop, and they're going to try and hold on to this lead.
So the scoring opportunities are precious here for the Cougs. This will be Ben Choi on his right foot into the middle, and it's still out in front, and
that's
in
it.
the goal.
That's it. Martin Fedorchik. Yeah.
Fedorchik there to corral it. And not one of the usual suspects, Yannick, but doesn't matter. The extra man in the box paying dividends, and Montgomery has knotted this game at 2.
And, Martin's one of those guys who when he was a freshman, he actually played up top for us. And he scored a couple goals as a freshman. And out of need, he's kind of bought into playing at the back, and he's done fantastic there. And, he popped up with just in the right spot at the right time. And now, up a man in a tie game, plenty of time. Montgomery just has to go back to playing their game. No rush right now.
You talked about, the couple of minutes, coming in out of a half after a goal being scored. Can, the adrenaline carry you to maybe another score and maybe a win in regulation?
Yeah, I talk a lot about momentum, and, this is a big momentum swing. First the red card and now the equalizer, and this is where you want to deliver that knockout punch. If you can get another goal quickly, it really could take a lot out of them.
Pog, I'm going to spare him the momentum conversation.
I don't think he's ready for it right now.
I'll save that for next time I come on, if I'm invited back.
We must have wasted like 7 or 8 minutes at the football game the other night talking about how BS I think momentum is. But listen, it's certainly not lost on anybody that's played sports that you can proclaim to feel like there is something else going on, that maybe things are going your direction. I just think it's a bunch of hooey. But
yeah, it sounds like magic, and I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't like.
You don't believe in magic, Pogue?
No, I don't.
We gotta have a conversation about that as well.
I got Yannick's been here 20 minutes and he's already busting.
I got some YouTube videos I gotta send you.
Oh, I can't wait for these. Is it you in a top hat? What are we looking at?
Listen, I wish I could do magic. My mom wouldn't send me to magic camp. never forgave her.
That's all making sense now.
Yep.
13 minutes to go on the clock in regulation as Montgomery and Hightstown are even at 2 after the Fedorchik goal, and Dollard there just kind of saying, buddy, what do we got?
And it's a tricky part for Hightstown now because you do want to kind of go and try and get a winner because, overtime would be very difficult for them down a man, but they also have to kind of conserve some energy with playing down a man and they still have 12 minutes to go. Tricky situation for them. That's a great ball.
Dumas into the middle, and dangerous there for Hightstown. Still alive for the Cougs. Hightstown does very well there to clear out of danger.
And it's right back to him.
Edelstein. As they play a little tic-tac-toe and just a little too strong on the touch that time from Andrew Hans. So another goal kick for Hightstown.
I think we'll start to see Hightstown use a little bit more substitutions, kind of save some guys' legs, just in case this has to go to overtime.
You see it there as Christopher Solis gets a rest. Montgomery with a turnover off the goal kick. Here's Montoya, and a great opportunity for Marlin, and it's just wide.
And you're starting to see some tired legs for Hightstown. They've been doing a lot of tracking back, a lot of running, and you do wonder how much they still have in the tank. So Montgomery needs to start to capitalize on those tired legs as well. Yeah,
you heard Ricky Steve talk about it in the pregame. Can we maintain enough possession to wear them down? Exactly what you were just saying, Yannick. And I guess we're about to find out, right?
Yeah, I mean it's tiring to kind of chase the ball like Hightstown have to do today, and all it takes is one moment to kind of not be too focused, not too locked in, and it can cause a goal at one end. So they have stayed locked in for a large part of this game, which is very impressive. You just got to kind of keep doing what you're doing and see if you can get a lucky break.
Another thing you heard Ricky Steep talk about was Mark Oliu's ability to, as he called it, drop dimes from the back and just, re-trigger that attack. And you saw it there with his ability to put it right on Ben Choi's feet.
Yeah, it really does. It starts an attack from Mark, and where a team may not be too balanced because they are worried about Mark's ability to play out of the back. They may not be going to press him, which gives him more time to actually pick out a pass.
Here's into the middle, and another dangerous opportunity for the Cougs. Fedorchik, as he presses forward. He will race and try to create from the near side corner.
Hightstown have committed to keeping 2 guys forward now. One's dropping back a little bit further, but they have committed to these numbers. They definitely are going for it.
Dollard, a bending ball, is held on to by Alvarado. Under 10 minutes to go now in this one. Boy, that red card was humongous.
Yeah.
The entire tide of this game changed.
Absolutely. Hightstown had just gotten their goal. They were feeling confident, and then, a little rush of blood to the head and something went wrong, and now, it's completely flipped the game on its head. So, it's a very tricky situation for Hightstown right now.
Rams trying to once again take the lead. They have done that twice so far in this Central Jersey Group 4 quarterfinal.
And they've committed to keeping 2 guys forward, which I'm actually very surprised by. They have not put another person at the back, so there is space in behind as well right now. So let's see how Montgomery attacks it.
Dollard, he'll play it forward for himself. I originally thought he was going to go ahead for Montoya, but instead he'll send it toward the middle, and the ball is still up for grabs in the middle inside the 18, and Montoya hits the deck. No call. They say play on, and Hightstown sends it clear.
Yeah, I don't know if Marlon's going to get that call. It could go either way.
I don't know about that with 8 minutes to go.
Yep, I don't know if the ref wants to be that person.
And a mistake there from Montgomery. Just played too far out in front by Puglisi, so Hightstown will have a throw. But no worse for the wear are the Cougs, as they will again come the other direction.
I think Ben Choi just came up with a cramp.
Yep. As the officials will stop the clock for the Cougar captain. You see him grabbing onto that right leg.
Yeah,
and
looks like a cramp.
Yep. Andrew Hans will help him out at this point. And
Ben's covered a lot of ground today, so it's not too surprising that he's pulling up a little bit. He's been all over the field.
Were you guys tracking that kind of stuff as you got forward in your playing career? Kind of how far you were traveling on a field and stuff like that?
Yeah. When especially when I was in college, we used to have to wear almost like a sports bra, and they'd put a pad in the back, and it was they would track how far you ran, how much you ran, how fast you ran. And we had a video system which kind of tracked, so we could click on my name and it would show my highlights or whatever I did during the game. It was really cool. I hated wearing it, but and it actually tracked how hard you were. We wore it in practice too. So, my last 2 years when we got that program, I had to start doing a little bit more in practice than I normally like doing.
Oh goodness, God forbid they should hold you accountable. So what was the farthest you had ever gone in a game? Is there?
I was not one of the far ones. I was like 7 or 8 things in kilometers, however many miles that was in a game. My teammate do close to 13 in a game, which
wow,
is absolutely sickening in my eyes.
They're going to call a foul on Edelstein there, and the home crowd certainly didn't love that. Good job by Hightstown and Lenzo to run in front of that. But Bent will play it forward for Dollard.
And Ian Dollard's really come into the game a lot the second half and having a good run at this outside back.
Dollard plays it into the other captain, Edelstein. A touch through. Can he beat the goaltender there? He does. Can he get it on frame? It's still in the middle. Montgomery with another shot. And still alive and covered by Hightstown.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Wow. A golden opportunity for the Cougs. But a fantastic job from Hightstown and Luis Alvarado. Wow.
That's a great job just by Mark's there. It's a great job by Hightstown to just kind of stay on it and stay tuned in. It's very easy to see somebody going in on goal and just kind of say, oh, well, let's see if the keeper makes a save. But they are committed to defending as a group.
What a well-played ball by Edelstein on that play. But Alvarado there to equal to the task. Hightstown with its 2 best opportunities since the red card there, as Bent able to spin his way out of some trouble, and now Montgomery countering 3-on-5 the other way. Can they get enough guys forward as we had a tangling of legs there, and they're going to say that's going to go to Hightstown.
Hightstown kind of thrown 3 guys forward. Now they're really,
they're going for it.
Yeah, I think this is one of those where, if you want to say a football team kind of late in the game and you score a touchdown, you can kick the field goal to tie. You go for 2 to kind of win and get out of there. I think this is what we're trying to see.
Bent. He's been an impactful player the last 90 seconds, as he again now will trigger with his left foot.
Yeah, coming off an injury, you got to be kind of careful with his minutes, but he's played well. And he looks fitter than he has in the last few times out.
4 minutes to go in regulation as they played it through and out for a Montgomery throw. Again, a good job there by Edelstein. And that'll be another going to call it a goal kick.
Ben Choice moving around a little bit better on the sideline. I don't know if we'll be able to see him before overtime. And Hightstown making a bunch of substitutions now. Definitely have some tired legs out there for them.
It has been Oscar Santizo who's been in for Ben Choi, and we'll keep an eye on that. Maybe, as much as you'd like to just get him back in here for regulation, you don't want him cramping up again.
No, absolutely. Oscar's done okay since he's come in, so let's see how this plays out.
This is pressure time for both teams as they will play it through for Edelstein. Jason off of the back of a Hightstown defender. He tries to play it through to Montoya, and now he gets a left foot on it, and it's just off the hands of the goalkeeper, and Montgomery will keep it in. And Montoya, they're looking for a handball, but nobody in position to see that one. A good job by Fedorchik there to be a pest, and Hightstown will try to come the other direction.
I think that's when you kind of just yell and hope, kind of scare the ref into making the call.
That's one of those you would have loved if somebody was a little bit closer than that.
Yeah.
But just the angle there. I'm a little surprised that Montoya played that ball and didn't let it go out of bounds.
Yeah, I think in that situation with numbers forward, you kind of want to take a touch, take a chance, see if you can get out of that situation. We have been pretty dangerous on set pieces too, so it could have gone either way.
Montgomery now again on the counterattack. This is Edelstein. He plays it into the middle. Dollard. A great inside-out move. Still in the 18. Cleared out for the moment by Hightstown. They'll play again out wide. Edelstein with some space. And they're going to say a goal kick. Boy, Edelstein is really working hard on the outside.
I think we're going to see Ben Choi back into the game. I don't know if the refs will let him in after just running up there now, but.
So no dice on that substitution as Fedorchik doing all he can to apply some pressure there as Hightstown will try to re-trigger the other direction with 1:15 or so left on the clock in regulation. So time in regulation dwindling down here. And we'll see if Montgomery has one more run in them. And maybe not there as they lose possession in the midfield. This has been an entertaining ball game as we tick down near 30 seconds to go. Tied at 2. They try to send it forward for Edelstein, and Jason corrals it. And that ball nearly got through, but stopped by Hightstown.
This is probably the last opportunity of regulation if they do get something here.
The Rams send it forward, and Dumas does his level best to clear it out for a throw. Hightstown has to hurry here if they want to try something here before the end of regulation. And they cannot
get it all.
So 80 minutes will not solve this problem in the Central Jersey Group 4 playoffs, as we are knotted at 2 at the end of regulation. So let's tell you what we got going on now. We will play a golden goal scenario, 2 10-minute overtime periods. First team to score wins it. If we are tied at the conclusion of the second 10-minute overtime period, we will go to penalty kicks. 5 penalty kicks per team. And obviously, if we are tied again after that, we go to sudden death penalty kicks. So I'm not allowed to say that anymore. Golden goal penalty kicks. So the drama just building up here. Keith Glock, Matt Pogue, and Yannick Smith live from Cougar Stadium here in Skillman. And Montgomery and Hightstown have played a good one here, Yannick.
Yeah, it's been a very entertaining game. I think it's 2 different styles of play. Hightstown were able to take the lead twice. Montgomery's battled back both times. The red card has definitely changed how this game is played out. And, you know, I know you hate the M word, but momentum's going to be a key factor here in the second half. We can win it. And again, first 5 minutes are going to be a very critical moment.
A little bit of a break for both teams between the end of regulation and the start of overtime. That red card, boy, you talk about a momentary lack of discipline for Hightstown that cost them potentially this ball game, because you really did see the tenor of the game change after the red card was issued. Montgomery really able to press forward. You got to think fatigue could be a major factor as, you know, the longer this game goes.
Yeah, you started to see they were doing a lot of substitutions later in that second half, and, you know, it's a credit to them. They changed their formation. They came out and played well. The red card, like you said, was a very significant part of this game. And, you know, as you see, they are fired up out there, but you can tell there are some tired legs walking on that field. So Montgomery really need to come out, you know, quick, get after them early, and see, you know, if they can just win this early.
You know, this may be a little over-analysis, but I'm okay with it because we're standing here, right? I mean, you know, why not? What else do we have to do? You just mentioned it. Hightstown fired up. I think the timing of breaking that huddle was a bit mistimed. It was almost like you fired your guys up.
And now they're just standing and waiting around for a little bit. Yeah, no, it is, because I forget how much time you get before overtime, but Coach Steve is taking his time, talking to his guys, getting them in there, and the coach is starting to bring them in now and talking to them again.
I don't how many of those talks do you have there?
You don't really get many of them. So
I think that was a potential error.
Yeah, he spoke to them very quickly, gave them his message, and sent them out there, and you know they're just kind of just standing around and waiting now.
You know, and the officials are really not. They haven't called for anybody just yet. And even when they do, you have to figure that they're going to give Montgomery a moment or two to get themselves settled, before we start play back up in overtime.
Yeah, they're not going to have them kind of jump out there. And then now the Cougars are coming out, so they're going to walk themselves out. They're going to get out there, and, we'll see what this happens.
Now, you know what? Now let's get back to normalcy here on the Mire. I'm going to criticize you, then I'm going to compliment you.
All right.
Unprepared for overtime.
Yes.
Okay.
But they didn't know that until you said it.
You could have asked.
I was about to ask if he was prepared for overtime.
He was not prepared for overtime.
That's what I thought.
From a graphics standpoint, he was not prepared for overtime. That's the criticism. Now the good part. He was able to shift on the fly and bring you a golden goal graphic just like that.
See, they didn't know that. They weren't here.
That's constructive criticism, though. You make you better. Next time you come, you're going to be ready to go.
We could have played it off.
Come on. The criticism never ends with me.
No.
Come on.
You got to get used to it.
I'm the Howard Stern of crappy high school internet broadcasts. Very, very critical of my staff.
That is a very nice title that you should have.
I'm going to put that after the comma in my email signature.
I don't know why you haven't already.
So we are in extra time. 2 potential 10-minute overtime periods in the Central Jersey Group 4 playoffs. Golden goal here.
And Hightstown come back out in this 4-defender formation that they changed in the second half. It did work for them, so they have stuck with it.
Let's see. Ooh, is that nearly a handball? As Dollard tried to chase it. Not too much argument from Montoya, so I guess maybe a bit of an optical illusion from up here. But some fresh legs, it seems, for Hightstown. As you said earlier, in the first couple of minutes here of this frame, let's see how long that lasts. We've already seen Ben Choi go down with some cramps.
And he's getting back on the ball. He looks fine. He's had a lot. He's been a big part of this game. So let me see. Interesting to see how he holds up.
Edelstein does well to create a throw for Montgomery. As Santizo now.
It seems like Coach Steep sent his boys back out there and kind of told them just to keep playing our game. Still trying to possess it, still trying to generate opportunities just from building the ball up, and they're not really rushing their game. So it is good to see that they still have a game plan even with the what's at stake.
Turnover in the midfield for the Cougs there, but man, it is crazy. Soccer's clearly, obviously, a huge field, 120 yards in regulation as they try to go forward for Edelstein. But, missing one of your 11 out there is just creates...
I think it's one of the most bizarre kind of situations you can find yourself in a sport where you're... Let's see what's going on.
Hightstown triggering into the middle, but misplayed a bit. And nearly.
And then Montgomery have fantastic numbers now. So let's see.
Big numbers. My goodness, Edelstein.
Ball, just a little misplayed, a little bit too far inside. But yeah, as you're playing down a man, not many sports where you just completely have one person less for no other reason than somebody getting sent off.
I mean, and in other sports you play man down for a minute or two.
Yeah. And you get that player back eventually.
Sure.
This has been almost 20 minutes. Hightstown's been down a man.
Even in other sports, when a player is disqualified or ejected, whatever the terminology is in the sport, the player may no longer be allowed to participate.
Well, they could put somebody else back on. So it adds a different dynamic to a game. It's something you work on, in training. But it's a situation you don't really want to find yourself in.
Certainly not. Good job by Dumas there as Hightstown was calling for a handball. But
yeah, that was an unintentional one. Would have been very harsh.
Can Montgomery re-trigger here? No, a good job just to step forward there by the Hightstown back line.
And Jason Edelstein has a ton of space on that right side. So going to have to see if Montgomery can kind of find him the ball in these situations where it is transitioning. And here he is.
There it is. They get it out there. It's a foot race for Edelstein. And he cannot get there as...
Keeper came out well.
A good job by Alvarado.
But I think that is an outlet Montgomery can look to exploit. Hightstown's left back is really exiting, getting forward, and Jason has a ton of space out there.
You can see the fatigue now in the Hightstown legs in the midfield. It's almost as if the style that they're playing now is like, we're going for this, and if we can get there, and
they're going to give that one to them, and it's going to give them a little time to kind of get their bigger players forward, serving in the box. And again, Hightstown have been very dangerous from set pieces all day, so Montgomery really needs to be tuned in right here and make sure they deal with this.
Christopher Solis with a good job to get a touch on that and draw the foul against Austin Dumas, but that, certainly nothing intentional there from Dumas. That's actually a pretty decent defensive play.
Yeah, no, nothing. Austin did everything he could there. It's just, one of those, the forward gets to it, he gets around you and, runs into you. It's always going to be called a foul. And they just have to defend this well. Not many numbers in the box for Hightstown.
Joseph Lenzo will take this free kick for Hightstown. He sends it towards Oliu, and Mark does a good job.
He's offside, yes, yeah.
Hand is up.
Looked like he went a little early, but Mark dealt with that very well. Mark had no idea that he was going to be off, so.
As much as I would love to even try, it's like speaking in soccer terminology during a soccer broadcast is like speaking in a British accent all the time. You just can't, I am incapable of doing it, and you do it so fluently.
I mean, this is, I'll be 30 on Saturday, so this has been almost 30 years of doing this.
Whoa, old man.
My back's killing me. I can't lie.
Old man time. Hightstown looking for a foul. They don't get it. Oh,
and
Montgomery.
Okay, another little.
Montoya. He plays it through. Edelstein on a run. Can he get there? No. Another great play from Alvarado.
It's a little bit too much on that ball from Marlon. It's a great idea. It's a little bit too much on the ball.
You get the sense that if this keeps up, Hightstown will not be able to sustain it.
No, they're doing a lot of chasing right now and a lot of recovery runs and catching up to people, and it's definitely it's definitely going to catch up with them at some point.
This feels like a situation to me where Dollard and Edelstein can excel.
Yeah, and you're talking about two guys that are extremely fit. They're still running, and Marlon as well, who's been all over the place. They're running themselves into the ground even late into overtime. So it is something that, if they can keep finding them in space, they'll be able to generate opportunities.
You saw a little extra pep there from Hightstown, and it didn't result in anything, and you got to see, can Montgomery capitalize here as Dollard sends one towards his other captain, and Edelstein making something happen in the middle on his left foot. He's still looking for space. He tries to get it on frame, and it's just a little bit off.
And they're going to keep looking at Jason because they're leaving him open out there. It's a very interesting tactic from Hightstown. They are pushing that outside back forward, and Jason's finding a ton of space on that right side.
That was a really slick move from Montoya, actually, to try to work back into the middle, and in doing so, he conveniently picked off another Hightstown defender and gave Edelstein a little more space.
It's a very smart little move from him, and just giving Jason that space. Jason's shot wasn't on target, but he can score from there. He's done it multiple times.
Very long ball played into the box, and Oliu there with no problem. And Mark
gets it out to that right side for Jason, and this is where he starts to become even more dangerous. A little push from the back, and
yep, they're going to get it.
Let's see if they decide to play quickly here.
I would.
They're going to get reset.
Hightstown forwards coming all the way down now. As Montgomery will play it forward. And it bounces into the box dangerously, and it's off.
Be a corner.
Yeah, it's off a Hightstown head. So a set piece now for the Cougs.
And this is where it's very difficult for Hightstown. It's been a long game, tired legs out there. Let's see if we decide to play short. Yeah,
they do.
We got a 2v1 situation here.
Here's Dollard. And dispossessed in the middle.
And he's going to have to track back and help.
Yes. Dumas now as it's 2-on-2. Austin does a great job to get back. Wow, that's a fantastic effort from Austin Dumas, but ball still in play. Now, actually a pretty decent cross into the middle. And
he's going to get there as well. But I think you see Austin Dumas covering a ton of ground to get back and win that tackle. And, it's what he's been doing since he was a freshman, which is great to see.
Great job in the Montgomery back, as they will now again trigger forward. Under a minute to go in the first of 2 potential 10-minute overtime periods. Adelstein trying to make a play so that they may not need it, but it is.
Oh, that's another interesting call, but all right.
Again, the official right there. We're not going to pretend we're not 1,000 yards away from it.
Talking like a ref.
Well, you got to give the man credit. He is standing there. Dollard on his right foot with some space. Ian sends it into the middle. Montoya and cleared away. Undertow flicked on, and Montgomery will play it all the way back to Oliu with 15 seconds to go. And
Mark makes a smart decision there. Just
yep,
plays it out, lets everyone get reset. Not much time.
And that will do it for the first of these 2 10-minute golden goal overtime periods. This has been a fun one here in Skillman. Keith Glock, Matt Pogue, Yannick Smith, as 10 minutes left to go before penalty kicks. And we haven't taken a break in a while, so let's take one with these 2 teams. The Central Jersey Group 4 quarterfinals will be decided one way or the other in just a few minutes. Stay with us. You're caught in the mire. This is the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome back to Montgomery. Keith Glock, Matt Pogue, and Yannick Smith as we're getting set to start the second of 2 10-minute overtime golden goal periods, I should say. So, Yannick, very clear Montgomery dominated play in that first 10 minutes. But there is now increasing pressure for this Montgomery team to go ahead and score in this second overtime period, because the one thing you don't want to do is get to penalty kicks.
Yeah, I mean, penalty kicks is really, it's you can say you practice as much as you can, and they definitely did practice it before, this game, but it really does come down to just luck. You have to kind of hit your spot in your penalty kick. The keepers kind of guess which way you're going, and, you really don't want to leave it up to that after a game that you've really dominated for, a large majority of this of the time. So, this is something that the Cougars are really going to have to kind of keep an eye on. And, you'll see Hightstown still throwing numbers forward. They probably don't want to go to penalty kicks either. They have played well, with all the circumstances. And you see there's a lot of space back here for Ian Dollard to run into.
Cougar captain Ian Dollard gets it into the middle. On his right foot, a long strike. And just over the crossbar. Boy, he was going for SportsCenter highlight number 1 right there.
I will tell you, the keeper was nervous about it. You saw him turn his head quickly, just hoping that would sail over the top.
Wow. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, that would have.
No other way to describe that.
This is things that Ian is capable of doing. When he has time and space. And, here, Hans coming forward again. There's a lot of pressure.
They go back into the middle for Santizo. And now back to the outside. Looking to create Fedorchik into the middle and cleared away again. Boy, you got to love playoff anything, right?
Yeah, the energy is great. The energy, and especially with how much both teams have battled this whole time. It's not been an easy game for either side.
Good battle going on the far sideline there, and Hightstown able to send it away, and Dumas will go chase. And he'll play it all the way back to Oliu.
Trying to get Hightstown to step out a little bit. And Hightstown is doing a good job of staying compact, not leaving too much space in the middle right now.
Another fantastic ball from Oliu all the way forward. It's one of those situations where, you know, people that don't watch you play all the time, they go, oh man, your goalie's pretty good. Where's he going next year? You're like, oh, he's going to Montgomery. It's great.
Yeah, he's only a sophomore, which is it's very impressive. A good tradition of goalkeepers from Montgomery in the past few years.
Cougars playing it on the outside. Fedorchik again as he goes into the middle, nearly on the foot of Edelstein, but the Cougars maintain control. Dollard toward the cage and controlled by Alvarado.
Yeah, got stuck under his feet a little bit. Couldn't really get out of his feet so he could have a clean strike at the goal.
3 minutes gone by in the second overtime period. Montgomery, the beneficiary of a red card against Hightstown. About 15, 16 minutes to go in the second half, and the Rams have been playing man down since then. Montgomery was able to get the equalizer to send this game to overtime and have thus far dominated both overtime periods.
Yeah, Montgomery's doing a good job of just keeping this pressure up. You know, Hightstown do win it and they get it forward. It's coming right back towards them, which is very difficult to defend against. You know, they've been defending like this for almost a half an hour, so it's definitely going to be taking a toll on them.
Dumas, he goes forward into the box. Edelstein looking for space, and he was just facing the wrong direction, and they now go back into the middle. Here is Fedorchik, and played by Alvarado, but still not clear. Another opportunity into the middle.
And Marlon got up well, but that's a difficult header. Not a lot of pace on it, so he had to generate all of it. He looks very upset with himself, but that's a difficult header to get from that far out. Another great opportunity for Montgomery. They're really pressing. 5 minutes to go. Hightstown are really trying to hold on.
And maybe just a little too much spin on that one, as well as Montoya just found that ball curving a little bit too far away to where he can, as you said, create the energy that ball would have needed to be on frame. Hightstown now attempting to push forward, and a good job defensively there by Montgomery will result in a Hightstown throw. Across now into the middle is handled by Oliu with little trouble, and he'll now
throw that out, and he's in a lot of space. So it's almost they swapped a little bit. Jason had a lot of space the first overtime. Ian's had a lot more in this one.
And now Dollard with a great move, and he still has a lot of room. He plays it back to his right foot. He tries to get in the middle, creating space for himself, and it's going to be tracked down by Santizo. He plays it back across. Dollard, and he gets a right foot on it. Misplayed, but a great save in the end by Alvarado.
Yeah, I think Ian did a great job of not hitting it too hard and making sure he got it on target, and the keeper made a good save. Another good opportunity for the Cougars.
Hans able to keep it in here, and Montgomery will direct.
Hightstown trying to get out, and
they will be able to
bounce. Yes.
And now with a little bit of an opportunity here, but I don't know if there's going to be much help coming. Hans has to hurry back into the hole.
Forward.
But that was a little trickier than probably Oliu would have liked.
Decent effort, but you see the tired legs, and got hands on their knees. It's been a long, grueling game. About 4 minutes to go.
Ariel Barreto.
I still think there's probably one good opportunity left in this game.
He put a scare into Cougar fans there. A good save, but no trouble doing for the Cougs, as they look to play forward again with Montoya. Marlin fighting, but there's
Oof, almost got through there.
3 players. And Montgomery thought that was going to be their throw, but no, says the official. And Dumas there to corral it as we approach 3 minutes to go in the second overtime. Montoya.
By Marlin.
Marlin. And he is going to be tripped up and looking for a whistle, and he does not get it.
Yeah, it's a bit surprising. It seems Sadi's down right now. He might be dealing with a little
bit of a cramp.
He's moving better, so I think he'll be able to kind of run this off.
A little bit of frenetic play back and forth both directions.
2:30 to go. This is where you're telling your guys, you're going to get one more opportunity. You just got to be ready to take it when it comes.
And we're going to see what we got here from the officials. As 2:21 is what they want on the clock. And that's what they will get. As Hightstown just dealing with a little bit of a injury stoppage there. So this has been a dandy in Skillman as we are nearing the conclusion of the second overtime period. Penalty kicks loom large after this, and you just fighting off these 20 minutes for Hightstown to even get to penalty kicks, feels in some way like a victory for them, playing a man down, for, nearly what would equate to an entire half of soccer.
Yeah, they've really, dug deep and really battled. And you see, the guys are starting to cramp up. Guys aren't making it the runs they were making in the first half, and it's, but it is it's credit to them that they've lasted this long. And let's see if they can, get this to penalty kicks.
Playing it through off the crossbar. Still alive. And, no, are they gonna say
it's
it was
offside? Yeah, Ben's a little bit ahead of the play. It's a great effort by Ian, and it's just it just will not go in for the Cougars right now. 2 minutes to go.
Wow, what another drive by Dollard as he's trying to hit home runs here in the second overtime. Edelstein plays it into the middle. Misplayed by Hightstown, still alive. And no, that's got to draw some kind of call.
Yep. And this
finally we do.
This is a primetime opportunity where all you want to do now is make the keeper work. You don't want to you don't overhit it or anything. And I've said it a few times. This is Zach Oliu territory. But
gotta hurry here though. Gotta hurry.
The clock's still running, and with all the pressure they've been putting on, you would want another opportunity or two, but it seems like they're going to let this run down, get their 10 yards for the free kick, and really try and work this keeper.
Dollard and Edelstein. No shock there. Let's see which takes it. Dollard has had two drives toward the goal, the last one off the crossbar. We're tied, under a minute to go. It's Dollard toward the goal and a little too high.
It's unfortunate. He works on those a lot, too, from that angle, and, just a little bit too far under. And you see Hightstown are really trying to go. They're trying to end this as well.
Hightstown needs to be careful, though, as Montgomery again as bent. He gets there. Plays it again for Dollard. Ian toward the goal and just wide.
And that's a corner. The 20 seconds. Can they get this
hurry
off?
Up. Gotta hurry. Gotta hurry.
And this is when you probably throw almost everybody up. And Gio's going to stay back.
Oh, yeah. Gotta hurry.
15 seconds.
Choi puts a foot on it. A good cross into the middle. And corralled by Alvarado with 5. And that's going to do it for overtime. Boy, Montgomery had opportunities there. My goodness.
I mean, you hit the crossbar, hit the outside of the post. You've done just about everything you can, and now, you just got to get your 5 kickers to trust them to hit their spot, and, hopefully your keeper comes up with 1 or 2 saves.
So now take us through, Yannick, how you select who you're going to use as your 5 here, and also talk about Mark Oliu and his impact potentially on this game, being as skilled a goalkeeper as he is.
I think one of the things you kind of focus on is I always say who wants to take a penalty kick. You never want to put somebody out there that doesn't feel comfortable. It's a pressure situation. If they don't feel comfortable in that spot, don't make them take one. And Mark, again, this is all about, reflexes and guessing. Those are two of Mark's best qualities. So, and I know Zach and his younger brother Luke, who will be here in a couple of years, take penalty kicks on him in their backyard all the time. So, he's talking to his dad, Paul, who's one of the coaches as well, and, he's getting ready to do what he has to do. But again, you pick your 5 kickers who want to take them. They would have practiced this, so they probably know their 5 well, and they have a spot they go to and just go up there and try and execute.
Now, I mean, you'd have to think that the 3 captains are going to be 3 of these 5.
Yeah.
Is there a strategy to which order you would send these guys out in?
You want to have somebody you're very confident in go first, third, and probably 5th. The first 3 you will definitely get opportunities at. And then the 5th one is, that's usually the pressure one. That's the one you want to make sure you have somebody who, if you are taking it to win it, fantastic. If you're taking it to go to sudden death, you want them to be kind of comfortable in that situation.
If you have the opportunity to kind of cash in on your, a kick to win situation, would you move one of those guys up a spot?
Yeah, possibly. The 4 spot's also another one where you potentially, again, I hate analytics, but analytics say you have a good spot of winning it at the 4th kick. So it's something where you do have to kind of be a little creative with where you put each player. But this is definitely, look for your keeper to make 1 or 2 saves, and hopefully everyone else can just take care of business.
Hightstown will go first. And this is going to be, it looks like Christopher Solis, the junior, to start it off in penalty kicks. Best out of 5. You can't get any more drama than what we have here in Skillman. The quarterfinals of Central Jersey Group 4. Oliu.
Sends Mark the wrong way. That's a great penalty.
Great job to put Hightstown ahead as Christopher Solis.
Jason Edelstein will take the one from Montgomery. This is always difficult because the goalkeeper has seen him take one today. So a little mind games from Jason if he's going to go the same spot or not.
Any thoughts?
If I were him, I'd go the same spot. I always had one spot, and, you never want to kind of mess with it.
Alvarado is the goaltender. Edelstein on his left foot.
And it's a great penalty as well. Went the other way.
Great job as we are knotted at 1 in these penalty kicks. So overall score being 3-3, as you can follow along, was 2-2 at the end of regulation. Second PK for Hightstown on the way, and good.
And the first 2 penalty kicks for all 3 so far have been fantastic. Unsavable. It looks like Marlon's coming up to take one.
Robinson Melendez scoring that one for Hightstown as they now lead 4-3. Marlon Montoya, the center forward for Montgomery. Oof. And a save. A save for Alvarado.
It's a great save by their keeper.
So now Mark Oliu needs to come up with a save.
It's a tough one. It's a good spot, but it's a good height for the goalkeeper, which, you want to keep it either low or very high. Right around that mid-range is a good area for the keeper to make a save. See if Mark can make a response.
Hightstown is 3 for 3.
And they've taken some fantastic penalty kicks so far.
All unsavable, as you said. Ariel Barreto, 3 for 3 for Hightstown. So the pressure starting to mount now for Montgomery. This is the team's one of the other captains, Ben Choi.
Choi, and he
And that's a
sends
great
it home.
penalty kick. Keeper gets the right way as well, but too much power behind it.
Now it's Oliu's turn.
And Hightstown have taken some fantastic penalty kicks and gone the same way every time. So it is interesting to see if this is a tactic they employ.
Sebastian Contreras. His right foot, and
it's
they're
the
perfect.
First one from the other way. Some great penalty kicks from this group.
4 for 4.
Gio Puglisi.
Montgomery needs this to stay alive. Puglisi. And he does.
It's a good pen.
So this to win it for Hightstown. Mark Oliu against Kevin Pintado. Pintado looks like he'll use his left foot.
And a great save by Mark.
Oliu!
A fantastic save.
Up to the task. Montgomery has life after Pintado is turned away on Hightstown's 5th penalty kick.
It looks like Sadi's coming up to take this 5th one.
Sanvik Cabra.
And the coaches have to get out there and kind of make sure they know who wants to take the next one after this.
It will go to sudden death should Cabra continue here and put it home for Montgomery. A win and another round of kicks, or a goal and another round of kicks. Cabra. And
it sneaks in. Whew.
Wow. Off of the hands of Alvarado, but finds its way home, and we're tied at 6. How about it?
Sadi put enough power on that where the keeper did get a hand to it, but was able to still get in behind him. So a little fortunate, but sometimes you need that.
Pabio Rivadeneria. We are in extra kickers.
It's a short run up, so this is a tactic some people do where we'll look to kind of put a little bit of power behind it. And it's a good
he puts
penalty.
it home. So the pressure squarely back again to Montgomery.
I'm not sure who's taking this one.
This looks like Choi.
Yeah.
Choi. And a save.
And it's saved.
Hightstown wins. Ben Choi turned away. Luis Alvarado comes up with the save. And after 100 minutes of soccer.
A very, well-played game by both teams. And, it's unfortunate how it ended for the Cougars because they played a good game.
100 minutes of time and 6 rounds of penalty kicks. And Hightstown wins it 7-6 after Luis Alvarado comes up with the save on Montgomery captain Ben Choi. And the Cougar season ends at the hands of Colonial Valley Conference Hightstown. Boy, that was fun.
Yeah, it was a great game. Great game by both teams. You hate to see games like this ended in overtime and penalty kicks, but Hightstown battled. They stuck with it, especially going down a man, and they have a tough game in the next round as well.
So our first foray into soccer in a couple of years, and they might not invite us back after this, but it was fun either way. Yannick, man, I can't thank you enough for being on with us today, and you certainly added an element to the broadcast that in no way would we have otherwise had. So
no, I had a great time. Well, you guys made it very easy on me. I appreciate you guys inviting me out here. Hopefully, if we can do this again, we got a little bit more luck for the Cougars.
Pogue, another mediocre job out of you.
Yeah, I tried.
Hey, water's wet.
You're now officially invited back after that.
He's in the
appreciate that.
family now.
I appreciate that.
The proceeding in all of our broadcasts are a production of the MIRE, the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, easy for me to say, or account of this ball game without the express consent of the MIRE, strictly prohibited. Hightstown 7 and Montgomery 6. The boys' soccer season ends after a valiant effort against the Rams. For Yannick Smith and Matt Pogue, I'm Keith Glock. Thank you for watching.